Does this sound like you? You wake up 2 to 3 minutes before you're supposed to start your workday. Tired and lethargic, you think to yourself, how do human beings subject themselves to starting their days face first into a laptop, hunched over reading emails, and staring at spreadsheets for 8 hours a day, just to put food on the table? Whether your grind nowadays is in office or out on the field, day to day we put our heads down and do the work, whether we like it or not. With video trends like I do not dream of labor and people resigning from their jobs left and right in what journalists are calling the Great Resignation, I think it's important for us to take a deeper look to understand why this daily grind that so many of us endure on a day-to-day basis is so soul-crushing, and what we ourselves can do to actually find peace in the grind that is day-to-day life, especially for those of us that can't afford to just up and quit our jobs. After countless early morning Reddit searches and reading about other people's complaints about their respective careers, a common theme I see is the lack of freedom that these individuals feel. Of course, different jobs and careers have different hours and work-life balance, but even with traditional jobs that only run 9 to 5, there are a ton of individuals who feel like their minds are still shackled to the work that they'll need to complete the next day. A lot of the times when I search for advice online on how to lift this mental weight, I'm usually told a variation of the exact same points. Find a hobby, or just quit and do what you love. However, not everyone has the privilege to just up and quit their jobs. And despite picking up multiple hobbies, this doesn't really change the fact that we spend 8 or more hours of our day dedicated to building somebody else's empire. So how do we make peace with the time sink that is the day-to-day grind? My secret? Stop trying so hard. A lot of the times, we get stressed and burnt out at what feels like an endless waterfall of tasks and requests coming our way. However, when I really take the time to sit down with these tasks, I quickly realize that most of them don't really matter. According to the Pareto principle, 80% of our results really come from 20% of the work we put in. So why spread ourselves so thin by going balls to the wall with every single task that comes our way? I think this glorification of hustle culture and overwork in today's society really pushes workers to spend so much time on things that don't actually matter. If we as a society can learn how to pace ourselves and put in an honest effort in the 20% of the tasks that will actually move the needle in our day-to-day grind, imagine how much energy we'd have after hours to enjoy things in life that honestly don't feel like much of a grind at all. Whether that be going on that exercise routine you've been putting off, or filming that video you really wanted to finish. Conserving your energy by focusing on tasks that really matter will leave you with energy to do the things that you actually love. The second reason why so many of us can't stand the grind is this: our work feels inherently meaningless. Now, I'm not going to tell you to find purpose in a job that genuinely doesn't connect with you, or try to conjure up some artificial why for the reasons you've decided to endure the grind. Because honestly, I don't think that's the most authentic way to go about finding meaning. I think it's a fallacy that we have to find meaning in our jobs at all. Why do we as a society still heavily associate our identity to a career title? We are so much more than a title, so much more than a so-called performance quota. If we really want our work to stop feeling like a grind, we need to stop trying to place all the meaning in our life in one place. As cliche as it sounds, we are multidimensional beings that have the potential to inspire and connect with each other. We come home to families and friends that we cherish and form bonds with. We wake up every day and breathe air on a planet that can actually support human freaking life. The moment we start looking at our life as an abundant pool of possibility versus an abandoned wasteland, we can start manifesting meaning into the things that we truly care about. Now, I know even after applying this advice, many of us will have days where we feel empty and burnt out. And honestly, that's okay. The truth is, the grind is a fact of life. And as sad and as hopeless as that sounds, radically accepting this fact frees you from trying to escape the grind that is day-to-day life. Expecting yourself to live this lavish, responsibility-free life every single day is a recipe for disappointment, and honestly, quite a privilege. We'll never stop feeling hungry, but most importantly, we'll never stop yearning for some sort of purpose in our lives, which, like it or not, the grind enables us financially to search for. The grind in our lives is very much like the waves in the ocean. We can't really stop the waves from coming, but we can learn how to surf. Whether your version of surfing is a night out on the town with your friends, booting up that video game you've been trying to complete, or investing time in a side project that doesn't even feel like a grind to you, I believe that we can all adapt to the waves of stress and anxiety that come in and out of our lives. After all, life doesn't have to feel like a grind if we don't let it. If we can learn how to stop trying so hard during our day-to-day lives, and reassign this extra energy into the things that truly matter, we too can arise from the grind that is life, and in time, learn how to surf. Thank you.